I recently moved into student housing for university. The building that houses the students is a towering complex, unlike most other student housing that I've seen. It is in the middle of the city, so I guess that it must have been a space issue. The rooms are basic and small. The room I was assigned to was a twin room consisting of 2 single beds and a tiny bathroom. I would literally be able to roll over and touch my roommate in the evenings. I moved in a few days before my roommate was set to arrive, so I spent the first few nights in solitude. There were welcoming parties and mixers, but I just didn't feel up to it. Jeremy, my roommate, arrived a couple days ago and we got on decently well. He is quite loud and overly excitable. He seems nice enough though, but it's not exactly my type of person. He has a few friends from home that are attending the same university and he invited me out to the bar last night, which I graciously accepted. I could not face spending another evening alone in this tiny enclosed space. The drinks began flowing and I eventually relaxed into the group. Mike, one of Jeremy's friends, told us a story that he had heard from his brother about an unoccupied dorm room in our complex. 2 students had apparently performed a satanic ritual in the room a few years prior. Their bodies were found around a week later in that room after the parents and friends reported that they were missing. Their bodies were burnt and conjoined together to create a cross in the center of the room. The bodies were haphazardly sewn together at the feet, all the way up to the head. Their teeth and hair had been removed to create strange symbols all around them. The room had been locked and unoccupied ever since. There were rumors that since then, people had witnessed strange occurrences on that floor. People would claim that they would hear whispering coming from the room late at night and reported a heavy burning smell. A lot of students requested another room soon after moving into that floor. I sat up with Jeremy late last night to discuss it further. I am obsessed with anything to do with the occult, and so is he. Having something that close by both excited and terrified me. I'm not sure if it was the drink or just a curiosity, but we decided to head up to the 6th floor to check things out. We did not particularly believe the story, or neither did the other guys. We were immediately taken aback by the smell once we had reached the floor though. The air felt heavier as if it were invading my lungs, and although the smell was not strong, it was bitter. It smelled as if a fire had been put out a while ago and the final remains still lingered. It was dark as we approached the room and I could swear I saw whiffs of smoke coming from the room 628. We put our ears up to the door, but we were met with silence. There were no whispers or sounds of any kind. I did have a strange feeling that I couldn't shake though. It forced me to shiver and retract away from the door. I am sure it was just the store playing tricks with my mind, but it didn't seem like it. Jeremy, on the other hand, seemed completely enthralled by this experience. He was caressing the door and trying anything to get a reaction. He knocked on the door, but once again, we were met with silence. Then from behind us, we heard a loud shout that made us jump. I almost fainted from the shock of another voice other than ours. "I'm trying to sleep. If you're not on this floor, can you please leave?" It was a girl from the adjacent room that we had woken up. We both apologized and went back down to our dorm room. I laughed at the situation to Jeremy, but he was completely serious. He looked like a man possessed. He told me that we had to go back there and investigate, and he was excited at the prospect that something supernatural really did lie inside of room 628. "I can get the key to the place, I reckon," he said with a grin on his face. "No way, man, I'm not going in there," I said, confused as why you wanted to go in there. "Oh, come on, man, please. Think of the stories that we can tell people," he said, tilting his head slightly like a dog begging his owner for treats. "How can you get the key?" "They leave the reception unoccupied most of the time at night, and I can just take it." I eventually gave in with the promise that we would record live the events that follow. I'm going to distract the only security guard while he takes the key. Then we plan to spend the rest of the night in room 628. I will edit this post with any updates as they happen. It had just turned 1 AM and we were about to head out. Edit. 1:50 AM. We managed to get the keys rather easily. The guard was busy flirting with some girls coming back in from a night out. The burning smell seemed worse this time when we approached. It was stronger than the previous night and the hallway was eerily silent. We opened the door and entered. I provided a picture of the room to show just how small these things are. I will attempt to take a picture of anything that needs documenting. On entering the room, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The room is set up exactly as it was before I moved into our room. That is, other than the smell. The air here feels thicker and I'm struggling to breathe. I've never had breathing problems before, but I'm finding myself short of breath being in this room. We've only been here for a few minutes, so I will report more in the next update. Edit. 2:40 AM. The walls. They feel like they're closing in on me. The room feels like it's getting smaller by the second. It is suffocating me and my breathing is getting worse. I attempted to leave, but Jeremy told me that it was important that we stayed. I decided that I'll give it a little bit longer. Jeremy had been acting strange ever since we entered the room. He is not smoking much and he seems a little bit on edge. I went to use the bathroom a few moments ago and when I came back, he was talking to someone in a hushed voice. I asked him if he was okay and he immediately became defensive. There's no one else in this room with us, so I'm not really sure who he was talking to. I think this whole situation may be affecting him quite a lot. He has not moved or talked much at all since I came back from the bathroom. He's just been staring out the window. I have to get us both out of this room. I want to leave, but he keeps telling me that it's important that we stay. Edit. 3:10 AM. Jeremy seems to be getting worse. He will occasionally look over at me with a quizzical look as he doesn't know who I am. He keeps muttering nonsense to himself, and when I ask him what he is talking about, he just stops. I gave Jeremy an ultimatum a few moments ago. I've had enough of all of this now. He just went back to staring out of the window after once again ignoring me. I attempted to leave, but the door is locked or jammed shut. I tried multiple times, but I can't get it open. I started to panic and began pounding against the door and shouting for help. Jeremy began to laugh once I started to panic. I can't hear anybody outside and I'm feeling extremely claustrophobic now. I called the front desk and a woman answered. She told me that she would send someone up and she did not seem too bothered about us being in room 628. I've never seen a woman at the front desk before. It has always been the same man since I've been here. I'm sure that someone is coming and I'll be fine though. I feel as if I'm slowly descending into madness. Edit. 3:30 AM. The lights just went out. I only took my eyes off Jeremy for a second. He was sitting opposite to me 1 minute and the next he was gone. I've shown my phone all over the small room, but I can't see him anywhere. There's almost nowhere that he could be hiding. He must still be in here, somewhere. He must have gone to the bathroom. I have no idea how he would have gotten out of here without me noticing. I would have heard him move or something, but I just don't know anymore. There's a low humming noise coming from the other side of the room. I'm not sure if it's just Jeremy messing with me or something else. I've called out to him, but he's not responding to me. I'm going to have to check the bathroom. No one has turned up yet to open the door, and I'm visibly shaken now. I'm coughing with every breath and I am so tired. Someone help me. Edit. 4 AM. I checked the bathroom and he was not in there. I could hear the sounds of whispering coming from behind me once I entered the bathroom. I think that there is something other than Jeremy here. The voice sounds inhuman. It sounds evil. I'm trying to act as rationally as possible, but I feel as if rational thought has left me. I attempted to call the police, but the same woman answered. I asked her who she was, and she began to maniacally laugh down the phone. My head is spinning now, and I can barely make out anything in the darkness. I have noticed a black smudge on the far wall. Well, I think that's what it is, but I'm not sure anymore. I attempted to take a picture to get a better look, because I did not want to move any closer to it. The camera on my phone has not picked up much. The photo is dark, but on closer inspection, I can see the outline of a figure standing at the window. I'm not sure how to brighten the image to see it clearer, and I am unsure what it is. We are on the 6th floor, so it would be impossible for someone to be standing at the window. I'm staying as far away from that window as possible, with my back to the wall. My eyes are feeling heavy, and my body is feeling weaker. I need to sleep.